Coach, it's a top 20 team in Tennessee, and you guys held them to 48 points, 27% shooting. Can you just talk about the defense? Do you think that was maybe the best defensive performance you've had this year, and then maybe particularly on their backcourt today?
Yeah, I thought we really defended, at a high level. I mean, Tennessee is so well coached. They cut so hard. They move the ball. They're a high assist team. They play 3-point guards sometimes, at a time. They push the ball. We had a tough decision game time starting at 3. Do we shoot around some guys on staff, maybe let them sleep? We went hard today at shoot around. And it's a team that's really buying in. It's a team that's understanding our defensive game plans. We're not always cosmetically pleasing offensively. But man, do we play hard. And when I say we play hard, I'm talking about the last month and a half. I'm going to just keep saying it. Nobody plays harder in the country than this team does right now. And because Tennessee plays as hard as anybody. And that was a great basketball game to watch. If you like physical, toughness and it's a battle for loose balls. It was a battle on the glass. It was physical. Anytime you had the ball, it was physical. Anytime around the rim, it was physical both ways. So I can't say enough about our team, because it's like, to win at this pace in this league, it's really, really hard. What they're doing right now is not easy. We knew with 7 games to go how difficult our schedule still is. But we lost to Alabama by 1, but could have won that game too. And so I'm overly pleased with how we're playing.
Yeah, Eric, you guys were down by 1, finally got some separation. I think it was like an 11-1 run or something. Devo had 2 threes, had an assist. What'd you think of him during that stretch to help you guys get on that run?
Yeah, we felt Devo would be a big factor in today's game. It unfortunately got, a couple fouls in the first half, but we thought his size was going to help us in the backcourt battle. And he rose up on those 2 threes and shot them with great confidence when we really needed to try to get some type of separation, because it was just like a boxing match where, it's jab for jab and, nobody could throw a knockout punch. It was just, there was just no separation. I mean, it's for about 37 minutes. I mean, it felt like it was going to come down to the last possession, to be honest.
You lost JD with 3:05 or whatever. It looked like a pretty, nitpicky call. I don't know what you thought about the call, but the fact you were able to close without JD and he didn't get to play a whole lot. What did you think of that?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, JD is, not just such an important part for us offensively, but he gets other people's shots because he commands so much attention. So I thought in the first half we survived. We did a good job of hanging with them without him. There was, again, no separation when JD was out either way. And then I thought, down the stretch, Chris's free throws become so vital. Going 6 of 6, from the foul line for the game, the clutch free throws that Chris made down the stretch. And I mean, the rebounding of Jalen Williams is, he just keeps getting better and better.
You held Vescovy to 7. What do you think about the individual effort on him?
Yeah, a lot of our preparation was obviously, 25, Vescovy and Kennedy Chandler, number 1, as well as number 5, Ziegler. And, to be able to hold, Vescovy to 1 of 9 from 3 and 2 for 13, it was DC was, struggling offensively, but I felt like I couldn't take him out of the game because the DC can guard point guards and he can guard perimeter shooters. And he's got such great length and size, even though, Adis went, 1 of 6, 0 of 5 or whatever from around the rim. I guess he had the 1 dunk, but he rebounded with, 10 rebounds. And his defense was phenomenal.
About the 3-point defense on the whole, you held them to, I think, 16%.
Yeah. They were 4 for 24 and because we don't, shoot the 3, great. I think what we've figured out is we really have to defend the 3-point line. And, I don't think we really had that belief and understanding of the importance of defending the 3 and defending for the full shot clock. I mean, certainly we didn't against Hofstra. But we're a much different team. We've evolved as a team. I think that part of, coaching is to try to get your team to improve. And again, even though we didn't, play great at Alabama, I thought we got better. I mean, I didn't get back on the plane and feel like we took steps back. I thought we did some great things against a really potent and offensive team on the road. So that's got to be our thought process. We know Florida's tough. They're really good at home. We know Kentucky's really good. We understand LSU's tough team. And so we have 4 really difficult games. And I think the biggest thing is, keeping our composure every night. And whether we win, whether we have a setback is to come back the next day and just try to get better for the stretch run, meaning the SEC tournament, and then hopefully, postseason play after that.
Yeah, Eric, you mentioned earlier in the year when Devo was figuring some things out and playing well, that he was playing with a lot of joy. Is he grasping that again? Like, do you feel like he's there mentally, or just, and what have you thought of him kind of in your bigger games of the year?
Yeah, I mean, I think in practice he's been having fun. I mean, obviously when, the dunk after Auburn, it looked like he was having fun. And I looked over after there was a timeout after one of his threes, and he was laughing and joking. And he, some guys you want him to show joy, and he and Jalen are out there having fun. Even in close ball games with a lot at stake. Like these guys are student athletes. You want this experience. You want them to, like, if you're going to grind and work, and put time in studying game film and all that, you want these as a player, you want to have a blast. And right now the team's really enjoying each other. I mean, you guys aren't, privy to our team meals and our flights. And I mean, right now, like we got great chemistry, and even the guys that came back, I mean, the Pro Hogs, they're in the locker room, and we got a good thing going right now from a chemistry standpoint, all the way through our team and our program.
Coach, you mentioned maybe not always being aesthetically pleasing offensively, but before the game, you talked about Tennessee's guards and how adept they are at coming up with steals. Maybe not a high assist game, but only 10 turnovers. How pleased were you with the ball security today?
Really happy, but I don't know if we do a drill called meet the pass, shorten the pass. And I don't know if I'll be able to do that again until we play Tennessee again, because it's a drill where I throw the ball to Kaywood. He's got to jump to the ball, squeeze it with 2 hands, chin it. He throws it back to me. I have to do it. That gets a little bit old, probably 3rd grade YMCA or CYO teams are doing that drill, but we just wanted to overemphasize. You can't throw, passes that are lollipop or balloon passes. You can't dribble the ball to the side of your body because of their ability to back tip. So we went old school, really fundamentally sound stuff this week. And I give our guys credit. I caught a couple of guys rolling their eyes once we went back to meet the pass and dribble the ball in front of you. But I do think it helped a little bit.
Eric, Devo started like the last 14 last year, started a bunch early. Now you're bringing him off the bench. He's playing a lot of minutes, but some guys wouldn't handle that very well if they went from being a starter to an off the bench guy. How do you think Devo's handled that, and how big has that been for what you guys are doing now?
Yeah, I mean, I think Devo knows how I feel about him and how the coaching staff feels about him. I mean, I love coaching him. I love being around him off the floor. I'll look right now. I mean, he played 18 tonight, is that correct? Yeah. Which normally he's in the 30s. And if you look at his second half minutes, he probably sat out all of a minute and a half. Yeah. So, I mean, we need him, and sometimes a guy coming off the bench, it was like that with JD last year. Like JD was more than a starter. He was one of our top 3 or 4 players, even though he wasn't starting. That's how I look at Devontae Davis. He's one of our top 3 or 4 guys because he's such a great defender. He's a great rebounder for his position. He's made some big time 3 balls for us of late, especially when we needed a shot to fall. So I look at him like, whether he hears his name for introductions or not, he's a starter in my mind.
You mentioned Jalen's rebounds, 16 career high. I don't like to say new career high because that's redundant. Career high is a career high. It's already new. But what do you think of his game? I think ninth double-double. Just what do you think of his game?
I mean, he was phenomenal. I mean, his toughness. I mean, they have a really big front line when you look at number 2, Huntley Hartfield and Plazovic inside 33, and then they come off the bench with Fulkerson. And I mean, he went in there and I mean, he was dominant from a defensive rebounding standpoint.
Coach, you mentioned the Pro Hogs. You're sporting one of Bobby's shirts. You talked about recruiting after the Auburn win. How important is it with those guys when it comes to recruiting high school kids when they see those guys in the building?
Yeah, I mean, I think you can obviously it's NBA All-Star break. You can go all the way. You can look through every program in the country. There's nobody that had as many pros as we did. And guys want to come back here. I mean, and I talked to all of them. I mean, the pride that Daniel, I didn't coach Daniel, but he was excited walking in here and Bobby, I mean, and then obviously, the other, even Khalil coming back, I mean, it's we need that. We want that. Like we want guys to want to come back here when they have an opportunity to come back here. And some of us are going to dinner tonight afterwards. I probably, I don't want to use the word concern, but probably, an outsider coming into the Razorback family is how would we connect with former players? I'm sure that anytime that somebody's not geographically or been a part of the program, but we've done everything we could to, get guys back here and make them feel a part of it and texting guys and direct messaging. And I feel really fortunate that all those guys came back and wanted to be here for this game. Cause I've been around NBA guys. Many of you have not. I can promise you 95% of NBA players are not going back to where they went to college. They're in Cabo or wherever. Okay. Cause they don't have to report back until Wednesday. Some of them don't have to report back till Thursday. That's a long break. And these guys aren't in the Bahamas or whatever. They're here watching a game and helping support our guys.
Was it to have some of those guys introduce your starting lineup tonight?
I thought it was really cool. I hope it was. It was my idea, so I hope it was good.
Eric, you outscored them 13-2 on points off turnovers. They've been really good. Like Curtis said, they've been really good at forcing turnovers. I think 17 a game. You guys were well under that. Just what'd you think of that stat, 13-2 on points off turnovers?
Amazed. I mean, I never, like I felt if we could just stay even with them off points off turnovers, that would be a huge plus for us. We took great care of the ball because again, they're so physical and it's a grind game, man. Like there's no separation. I can't speak enough about the job Coach Barnes does. I mean, it's every possession is just a war. I mean, on both sides of the ball. So really proud of how we took care of the basketball, especially when our lead guard and the guy that we rely on every night, JD, was only able to play, 24 minutes. And even Devo's, both those guys in foul trouble, and we still found a way to not really turn the ball over.
Florida beat Auburn today, so the race has tightened up. But 12-2, 11-3 for Kentucky. You and Tennessee are both now 10-4. How do you feel about the conference race?
Yeah, I mean, I think the ultimate goal, for us is to play in the NCAA tournament to try to get the best seeding we possibly can to try to play as well as we can throughout SEC regular season. I understand the seeding in the SEC tournament but again, I mean, we just want to play one game at a time because we know what our schedule looks like these last 4 games. And Florida's really good at home. They have a great student section. And so we got to go try to win a 40-minute game in Gainesville. They're here. Yeah. Their brother works for us. Raheem. Yeah.